Now, this is the IQAir air purification system. I've just received it yesterday and I am going to unbox and set up. Now I've already opened the top, and if we go there, we have, let's have a look, we have this guarantee card. Then we have a certificate of performance. It's even signed. I know they make nice Swiss watches which are signed from the manufacturer, but they also seem to be just as good in terms of quality assurance with air purifiers. And here we are, we have the casters and we have the remote control. So I'm going to continue to unbox and we shall see what is inside. Now I've just taken it out of the box and it is quite heavy, so bear that in mind when lifting it out. And there is the casters, so I'm just going to continue now to unwrap and set up. Now, in terms of setting up the casters, you have these mounting brackets, 2 of them. And what you do is you put down the purifier to the side, or if you have something that is soft, you can place it upside down completely. I just have it at the side. And you just simply slot it into place like that. No, I didn't push it in yet, but I want to show you, if you do it the other way, it's going to be clear that it's not the right option. So you turn it around, making sure the semicircular is in conjunction with this here. And as I said, when you push it in, it's intuitive. It slots in very comfortably. So let me just do that. There we go, like that. And the same with the other below. Now with the casters, it's a simple case again of just taking the caster, putting it on and pushing it in. Now this does require a great deal of force. I can't do it with one hand. Oh, there we go. So you just hear that click and it is in place, and the same with the rest. So when you hear that click, that's an indication that it has successfully connected to the machine. Now the next phase is to load in the carbon filters, and to do that you need to, again, this is a two-hand job, but I'll try it with one hand. Just press that out. Well, there we go, that's fine. And it's the same with the other. Press that out like so, and then push back like that, and then lift off the various sections. So it's like a rocket system. You have various sections that you can remove. And there we have the chamber for the carbon. And you have the carbon sleeves, which prevent various particles from being blown off from the filter system. So that's going to be the next stage now, which is to put in the carbon cylinders. Now I have placed the first sleeve on the carbon cylinder. I have to say it is requiring an element of effort to do that. You will need your 2 hands. It's a very tight fit around the cylinder, but especially the last phase of it where it's very difficult to get a grip. Nonetheless, it is on there now. And to install it, you just simply slot it into the grooves. There are grooves on the cylinder, there you are, and they are matching. So it's a case of just putting it on there, and you can feel it slot in, and then just simply turn it to lock. So to lock, you turn it clockwise, and to unlock, you turn it anti-clockwise. And there you have it. So that's that. So now we have placed all of the sleeves onto the cylinders and placed them into their compartments on the filtration system. Now, a word of caution in relation to putting on the sleeves on the carbon filters and also handling the carbon filters. You can see here the dust particles of the carbon. They are loose and they can contaminate the floors. So here we are again. You can see some of the dust particles there when I placed it on this manual. And as I said, in terms of placing the sleeves onto the carbon filters, make sure you do that with some protective covering underneath, because if you have a nice shiny carpet and something of such nature, it may damage and soil that. So that's a word of caution. Now I've decided to, just for the purposes of demonstration, show you the pre-filter. This is the HEPA filter, and in my haste in removing it, I pulled it from the top, and that is quite flimsy, so you mustn't do that. You must push it from underneath. So lift it up underneath. This is the base for the pre-filter, and you place the pre-filter in the right way up. So there will be a sticker showing this way up. You place that in there like so, and again be careful because it is quite fragile. Then you take these clips and you place them in the slot there, as so, and the same with the rest. Now, as I said, this was already pre-installed and pre-delivered this way. I just wanted to remove it to see if there was any packaging around this when switching it on, and there isn't. So again, placing the clips in the right place and pushing down to secure, and the same with the rest. And when placing back into the slot, you will need again 2 hands just to lift this up gently and then slide in and wait until you see it connect in. No, it's not connected there, but you just need to make sure that it is sliding down into position. As I can see, it's not there, but I'm going to use my 2 hands to do that. Now, just another thing to bear in mind. So I've slotted it in, the pre-filter, successfully with 2 hands. Now, when you push this out, it automatically lifts this up. So it's important not to push this down without gently moving that into place. And again, it's in the beginning it can be a bit cumbersome to do, but bear in mind never to force any aspect of it, because it is made of plastic and things can be damaged very easily. So in essence, what I did was I just guided this part into place, and then it slotted down, and this automatically moved in to its locking position. Now, this is the carbon filter tray, and I'm just going to slot that back into its position there as well. So I've placed all of the various sections back in. It's important to note that the last rack frame to be placed inside, there we go, so just to make sure that it slots down and there is no gap between any aspect, and roll it around and see. But getting back to this matter and point, the last frame section to be installed can be just a bit more tighter, because the weight of the carbon, you're not able to push this out as easy. And again, the byword is careful, thread carefully and don't force. Now, there is a bit of leeway with this plastic, slight bit of a bending, but don't push it too much because you don't want to damage your new IQAir filter. And likewise with the top, just be very gentle in using your two hands to guide it into place. And that is basically it. It's ready now to be switched on and configured. So when you've installed the filters for the first time, it is important to set the date upon which they were installed for the purposes of making sure that it tells you when they're expired. So if you don't do that, if you don't set the time when you install them on the computer of the air filtration system, it may lead to inaccurate and inefficient work, and it may malfunction as well. So that's very important. So there we are, in place and ready to be configured for use. Now, before I finish off, I just want to show you the rationale for why I got this rather expensive, top of the range air purification system. The geographical location of my bedroom, and indeed the residence, is elevated slightly above the chimneys which are actively used in my area. So this is the front. This is in an easterly orientation. So westerly orientation. So with the prevailing westerly wind blowing, when the chimneys are on from September right through to March, April, you have the smoke blowing in this way. And then if there is an easterly wind, I have 4 chimney stacks behind me blowing in the opposite direction. Now I didn't realize initially that it was the cause of my respiratory condition. I thought it was perhaps just living in a city, in a work environment with no windows, etc. But it suddenly dawned upon me that it was indeed the chimney smoke and the particles that I was breathing in every single night for 2 years. So hopefully this now will be my only solution other than moving out. Now, as you can see also on an aside, I've purchased some air purifying plants, quote unquote. There hasn't been any difference in the quality in remedying the chimney smoke, but nonetheless I feel it may help now in conjunction with the IQAir purification system. Thank you for watching.